Hey, witches.
Hi, hello. Welcome back to another episode of The Dawn and Its Light.
The dawn and its light.
We ended at chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
Chapter 5. And now we're on to chapter 6. Oh, I about said 7.
And this is probably going to be a relatively short episode. It was a lot of pages, just not a lot happened. Right? Like,
Thank God we needed a break.
we did, honestly.
Okay. Let's get right into it. Chapter
right
6.
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6. Okay, so basically it's kind of the aftermath of the fighting, I guess. And we're all kind of trying to decide what to do. Well, not we, them. They're deciding on what to do. And Malik gets the short end of the deal.
Oh, he's so mad. But first things very first, on the very first page of chapter 6, it's like Amaris' point of view. And she's talking about all of the things that are going right. Like, this has happened. Moray's dead. Princess Daphne had, like, she's talking about all of the harpies. The harpies spread the news that Moray's dead. The hidden daughter of Princess Daphne is now holding the seat of power. And then she says in her head, it was almost too perfect. And I was like, almost too easy. Like, when's the other foot gonna drop here? Something feels not right here.
Something's gonna happen.
And I don't know if it's because I've read too many fantasy novels and I'm too used to authors like Rebecca Yarros ripping out my heart. But and SJM, to be honest. Okay, I'm about to go on a side quest right quick. Because I was just talking about Sarah J. Maas the other day. And I was like, if I had read Throne of Glass first and then read ACOTAR, I would have been so disappointed. Because it's taking me a long time to get through Throne of Glass because it is destroying me emotionally with every book. And like multiple times a book.
Is Cortland, Sam Cortland?
Yep.
Okay. I got a spoiler.
Oh.
Unknowingly, I got a spoiler, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
It's destroying me, and I haven't gotten any spoilers yet. I'm only halfway through the series, or a little over halfway through the series, and somehow I haven't gotten any spoilers yet. I mean, other than the main one that just about everybody knows, but I'm not going to say it in case you don't know it. But like,
tell me when you're done with the book, or like, I don't know, it's a death, but I mean that's pretty given.
Oh no, the spoiler I'm thinking of is not a death; it's someone's identity.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, it's destroying me emotionally in all the best ways, and maybe this is just a me preference, but it's more high fantasy and less smutty fantasy.
Yeah.
And I think I prefer that. And it's like less romance centered. There is romance, but the whole book isn't about the romance,
which is nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice,
kind of like this series. I mean, no, this whole series is about the romance. Never mind. Don't let me lie to you.
Okay, let's just go back to the first book.
Yeah.
And just let's think about it.
Yeah, never mind. But it's, I don't know. I was trying to convince someone to read it the other day. I think it was Brittany's sister. And she was like, no, don't recommend people to read that. It's gonna break your heart. Like, it's gonna destroy you. And I was like, shut up. It's the best.
It's fine.
Like, it is gonna destroy you, but like in the best way. Because I also told Brittany that I think she would like it if she would just like listen to the audiobooks. I think she would really enjoy it because the main character is not like she's a girly girl, but she's also a badass.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too because I actually I don't know who it was that said this to me. I think it no, I don't know. But they were like, it's a new take on fantasy. Not necessarily new take, but like the typical ones that you see out right now. Um and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's actually pretty nice. I like that." And then she's like, "Yeah, you should definitely do it." Whatever. And I was like, "All right, cool." And I'm like, actually Will might like that because that's kind of more up his alley. That's kind of
Yeah.
like a Brandon Sanderson
Yes,
book.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and then I was sitting there thinking about it, I was like, huh, that's pretty good. And then every single book that Fiona has been like telling me to read, it's all like dark romance or like smutty.
And don't get me
And
wrong, I have nothing against smut. I also need plot, and I need more plot than smut, which ACOTAR does have more plot than smut. But I think,
except for the last one.
well,
But also, that was a healing journey for us
yeah, I don't know.
with a lot of smut.
I think some of it is just the characters in ACOTAR until the last book. We're like, ugh.
Like you're just frustrated with how they're acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
The and it's so funny that you're like complaining about that now because there's some times where I'm like reading these books and I'm just like,
I feel the same way about these books. So where the main character usually gives Gryffindor energy, Selena Sardathian is a Slytherin for sure.
okay.
100%.
Yes. Um so I actually told Will, I was like, babe, I think you'll like Fourth Wing. We were talking about Fourth Wing one day and he was like, no,
Brittany really
I
liked it.
don't no, I'm not going to read that. And I was like, come on, it's really good. It's actually really freaking good. And it's not bad. And he goes, no, I like more fantasy based stuff than reading about people having sex. And I was like, listen, it is not about that at all.
It has some scenes, but Fourth Wing is not.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't care if I like read maybe one or two scenes about it or whatever,
Yeah.
but like I don't want every chapter. And he was like comparing it to like Haunting Adeline, and I was like,
Oh no, not even close.
I was like, look, like there was a lot of these kind of scenes in ACOTAR, but there's still a story to it. But this one is mainly story with
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 scenes in the first book and then like several scenes in the last book. Other than that, it's really
Yeah.
it's a typical book. And he was like, "All right, maybe." So then I got it on Audible and I was like, "All right, here you go." He got 15 minutes in and then we left the beach and then that was it. And I was like, "Fuck." He's just been busy ever since. So still on that train, still trying to get it, but I was the other day I was at work, I was sitting here and I was holding this book and I was like going to read it and Fiona looked at me and she's like, I need to borrow that book when you're done. And I looked at her and I was like, have you read 1 through 3? And she looks at me, she goes, 1 through 3? I was like, yeah.
It's a
This
series.
is the 4th. I was like, this is the 4th book. She goes, you're not on the 1st book still? And I was like, Fiona, I read a lot faster than you do. Let me tell you, I am not on the same fucking book from high school. She's got this stupid little like cowboy romance that she hasn't even fucking finished yet. And I was like, girl, you're 27. It's been almost 10 years and you have yet to finish this fucking book. It ain't good if that's the case. You need to stop it. You need to put it down. She goes, well, I just read like a few pages and I put it down and I do something else. I was like, no, it is not good. That is a DNR.
Yeah,
all the way.
we're
And she's like,
we're gonna need to not finish that one.
Yeah, and I was like, listen, if you're reading like 15 other books and then you go back and read like 4 pages and then you like return back to your 15 other books, it ain't worth it. It's a boring ass book. It's not catching your attention. It's not making you want to read the next page. Don't do that.
I just finished my reading goal on Storygraph for the year yesterday, and it was 125 books. It was originally 100 for the year, and this is including audiobooks. If I read it, I count it, because I invested my time into that. So, audiobooks, ebooks, and print books, I read 125. My goal was 100, and then I upped it to 125. But I also realized that I'm a freak of nature.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about you the other day too. The same day we were talking about this book. She was like, well, how many books do you and Brandy read? And I was like, don't say that.
Together or?
I was like, together, we're reading the books for the podcast. Because my brain doesn't work. My brain shuts down on the shit that I gotta do anyways. And I was like, I gotta remember things for work, for acting, and I'm a huge gamer. So like I want to play games. And I was like, Brandy, on the other hand, likes to be an introvert and likes to sit at home and read. How many books did she read this week? Probably 4. And she was like, what? Like, finished? And I was like, maybe. I don't fucking know. Depends on the size. However, she definitely read at least 4 different books this week, if not more. And I was like, this bitch will read for an hour. And in that hour, she's probably read 2 books. And then for the next hour, she'll read another 2 books. I was like, and that's what she does. She comes home from work. She spends time with Brittany. Brittany goes to watch games, play video games, whatever. Brittany goes into her other room, pops her feet up, reads 17,000 books at the same time. Different plot lines, different everything, reads them all. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I think that's partially why I've been struggling to get through Throne of Glass, because it's kind of similar in stories to this, and I kept confusing at some points.
That makes sense, yeah.
So I think, like, I was trying to wait to finish that series until we finish these, but...
That makes sense. Yeah, I was like, would you like to know how many books I read this year? Let's go through the podcast and see what books we finished. And that is where we end. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, the average person reads, like, 2 books per year.
Yeah, I'm definitely above average. However,
yeah,
you are going for gold.
Yeah, I'm a freak of nature. I'm well aware. Brittany does not let me forget it.
Listen, for all those book lovers and who have pizzas in your Pizza Hut in your area, they brought back book. I about said it incorrectly. The pizza, read a book.
Like for adults?
They didn't specify.
Listen.
What is that thing called? Fuck.
I don't remember. I could have told you until you...
I started saying Bookstagram and I was like, well,
no,
that's not it. Because I really wanted pizza the other night, just something, nostalgic. I was getting ready to play a nostalgic game. And Will's like, what about Pizza Hut? And I was like, they're fucking breadsticks, dude. Yeah, let's get Pizza Hut. That reminds me of a typical Friday night, drinking some root beer, eating some pizza, having some breadsticks and playing a game. Yeah, let's do it. And I saw it on there. And I was like, oh, what is that thing? Pizza. Book it. Book it.
Book it. Yeah.
Book it. Yeah.
Listen.
It's been 40 years of Book It. Pizza and reading enthusiasts alike can use the code BOOKIT40 at checkout online or on the app to redeem a free personal pan pizza. Pizza Hut coming in clutch.
Yes.
And they now offer gluten-free options for those gluten-free tolerant people.
Yes. Perfect. Because listen, life.
Brandy's tummy needs it.
My skin more than my tummy, like I get itchy. But anyway, now that we've done a 15-minute side quest, chapter 6. Everything is going so easy. But then back to what Emily was saying.
Malik got the short end of the deal.
Listen, poor Malik. Like, first of all, he already knows that he has to stay in Obaid with the freaking Duke. And then he finds out in this chapter,
yes,
that not only is Amaris and Gadriel and Yaslin and Tanith and Ash going to Soulgrave, so is Nox, and he's pissed.
Oh, he loses his mind.
But honestly, like, valid reaction. Like, if the woman I love was like, I'm gonna go across the fucking Antarctic, and nobody has ever survived this walk before, except for these psycho-religious zealots, and I'm gonna go do this, I would be like, no the fuck you're not. And she's not even a queen. I mean, she's my queen, but she's not a queen.
Like, and that's... It's so weird to see somebody so cool, calm, and collected throughout the entire series, except for the one time he kind of blew up at Nox. But, like, he
loses
compared to this one, like, that wasn't a blow up. That was just like, all right, I'm annoyed, you need to knock it the fuck off. This one, oh, he was about to ride up there. He didn't care if these people were leaving. He didn't care if any of this was happening. He was heading back there. 2 days' time, I don't give a fuck. I don't care that they left 4 days ago. I'm still going. Like, he didn't care.
And then, this idiot says, Malik, calm down. And then Amaris groans, and then next, I literally highlighted this. It says, not once in recorded history had anyone's temper abated by being told to calm down. And I want to fucking cross-stitch that onto one of those little things and hang it on my wall. Because... yes! Facts. Like, so much facts. I can't even. I only had one more thing for this entire chapter. And it's on page 79.
Mine was on 74.
Did you already say it?
No, it was about Malik freaking out.
Oh, okay. So the last thing is page 79. So Amaris had written Nox a note and was like, you know, oops, we made some enemies at the university. You might want to talk to Malik, make sure he's okay. I'll check in soon. And she's like, first of all, why doesn't it surprise me that you found a way to make enemies at the continent's only university?
You should ask her about it sometime, Nox. You should ask her.
Right? And then second, she's like, if you haven't, I hope you haven't already left the castle, because if you already did, I'm going to need you to turn around and go back. Because she's like, I know of something that was stolen from the university long ago, and I'm quite sure they'd be willing to overlook your indiscretions and barter for their green strike blood. And it is Millicent's carriage.
We finally figure out what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because it's like, huh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. And then,
like, even though she's not here anymore, I really do hope we learn more about Millicent, other than that she was a thief and stole this. But, like...
yeah. I would love for one of the short stories to have been hers.
Oh! Yeah.
It's not, because at least the last one is Daphne and Moray, but I wish.
Well, there wasn't a short story at the end of the first book.
Oh, well, maybe she'll write one.
Well, do we know? We obviously didn't know about Yaslin until this time around. Do we know Zakai in the first book?
No, yes. Did we know Gadriel in the first book? Because we meet Gadriel and Zakai at the same time.
Oh, so yes. Because they were like, you know us, you could see us.
Yeah.
And then that's what led to the castle thing. And then them being separated yet again was second book.
Yes. So yes, we did know Zakai in the first book.
Yeah, okay. So like Zakai's story could have been, well, I guess we didn't know a lot about Zakai. But like Zakai's story could have been in the first one, and then this one could have been Millicent, or the second one could have been Millicent.
Yeah. Or the first one. I mean, we know about Millicent in the first book too. It could have been.
True. What led to her deadly hand.
Right. I really would like to know that. But they do get the thing, and then they figure out how to work it, which basically just means they set their intention that they want to go there quickly.
It's really weird though that they sleep.
Yeah, it like puts them to sleep. I'm sure that there's some kind of like creepy, like maybe that's what happened to her hand. Maybe it like starts to leech the life from you or something.
Yo, what if it just puts you asleep for 2 days?
Right.
Or like the amount of time that it takes you to get there.
It wasn't actually fast. You just thought it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what if they know? Like a typical car ride, you just fall asleep, wake up, oh, we're here.
Wow, that was so fast.
Yeah, that 13-hour drive, did it in an hour.
I don't think that's the case, though.
Yeah, probably not, but maybe you'll see ghouls and all of that, and maybe the carriage just puts you asleep so that it doesn't like hurt you.
Maybe.
They can't see me, so I can't get them. Anyways, it's like have you ever watched Doctor Who?
No.
Oh, so there's like an evil person in there that it's like if you blink or something like that, they can like move.
Oh.
And they're like called the Weeping Angels. It's like opposite of that. Like, oh shit, they don't see me, so I can't get them. But anyways, yeah. Chapter 7.
Yeah, chapter 7.
I'm gonna grab some agua.
Okay. Again, right on the first page of the chapter, I'm cracking up. So they get there, they're like close to the university, and they decide that Yaslin should do the negotiating. And I'm like, really? Because I feel like Yaslin is not the most level-headed of people. So it's interesting to me. I mean, I get why, obviously, but it still makes me chuckle that Yaslin is the one that has to do the negotiating. So basically they unload all their crap out of the carriage, and Gadriel and Amaris sit there in behind like this big stack of boulders, basically. And they send Yaslin off to the university to negotiate. And then they just sit there and they like talk about their feelings and things and
But what really frustrates me is the fact that she sits there next to him to get his warmth. And she starts feeling guilty about Nox. And it's like, I'm not sitting there saying that, like, why do you feel guilty? Nox was with it. Like, I'm not saying it from that point of view, but, like, you have essentially done nothing but bitch that she did not return your feelings. And instead of waiting, you were like, okay, well, we'll come back to it. Like, she asked you for a break. Okay, that's fine. You can see another person during that time. Whatever. But your feelings for doing all of this and, like, feeling guilty about it really fucking pisses me off. Like, you can't have, like, you can't do it both ways.
Like, 3 pages later, She's like, hey, let's fuck.
Exactly. That is my frustration with Amaris.
She's like, I feel bad for you putting your arm around me because that's what Nox used to do. Hey, let's fuck.
Yeah. And she's like, well, there is something that I want to get rid of. And it's like,
I want to check off my list, she says. Like, bitch.
Well, and then she's like sitting there feeling guilty too about leaving Nox and doing this and doing that. And okay, we already know that she cannot do commands to anybody that's at least half Fae.
Right.
Nox, let me tell you, I was annoyed this entire chapter, specifically for this one reason, because
it
Amaris
kind of felt like there were some plot holes. Either that or Amaris is just more stupid than I thought she was.
Exactly. That is where I'm getting. I feel guilty because I told her to wait. Bitch, you could even get Moray, who was believed to be human to stop her assault on the North. You couldn't do anything with Ash because his dad's a Fae.
Mm-hmm.
This bitch told you she's a fucking succubus. Her father is the king of the North, full Fae.
Yeah.
And you have the right mind to say, I told her to wait.
So she had
to. Bitch, you ain't that powerful.
Right.
Fuck you.
And Gadriel basically says that. I mean, he says it nicer than that, but...
Oh, yeah, no. Gadriel was like, she's half Fae. Like, you didn't command her. She did it because she loves you. And that's another thing, too. Gadriel knows that she loves Amaris and knows that it's vice versa. And he's like, listen, I'm not trying to take your virginity in the middle of the thing because I take it long and hard. And believe me, when I do fuck you, you're not. And I was like, bro, you're queen.
I do feel like, though, like this whole... Like, I think that's kind of on purpose. I think that she's trying to destigmatize polyamory and polysexuality.
See, I make a comment about that a little later. Because
I do too.
It's just really
the next chapter I do.
Yeah. It's just really frustrating though to like listen to her talk about how guilty she feels for all of these things that she had an option to change. Like she feels guilty about leaving Amara or Nox there even after she's like, well, it was because of me. Like I could have done this or I could have done that and we could have grown up as Reavers. I'm like, you could have.
Yeah,
but as soon as you got to that location, that was it.
Yeah.
You didn't even think about telling Yeah, like you didn't even think about telling douchebag to like not douchebag, sorry. Odrin was not a douchebag. But like you didn't even think about telling Odrin to like go get her.
Right.
Or having the Reavers go grab her or like find out more information. Like you didn't even bother that. And like she got everything. In the end, she got everything. She got away from the situation. She got away from being Millicent's pet. She was able to go make something of herself and to like, you know, be this badass person and like do all of these things. And she's like, poor
and she
me.
might even potentially still be getting Nox like that. It's wild.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, but you should have come back and like looked for her the way that Nox looked for you, despite her situation. You had the means to take care of yourself. You had the means to do all of this and had the ability.
Yes.
And you didn't even bother
to try to get back to her.
Yeah.
And she didn't even try. She didn't try at all.
And then when she like runs away on the dragon after the Colosseum thing, nothing. She's like, oh, Nox, I forgot about her, but I love her so much.
Fuck off.
Are you fucking serious? Like, Nox still was trying to find you at that point.
Right. And I forgot, like, during this chapter, as she's telling Gad about everything, I forget that, like, they haven't all told each other's stories yet. And I'm like, why have we not done that? Like, this feels like...
Honestly, though.
A breakdown of communication, but...
It's just really frustrating for her to be like, it's like, yeah, bitch, you abandoned her. Like, just let it out. You abandoned her.
Yeah, like, it was a really shitty thing to do, and you did it. And you should feel bad about it. But let's move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The character of Gadriel, and including some of his like more domineering traits or actions, I really like, and I feel like could be a really great character, but I don't like his love interest. I can't find the chemistry. I can't find it. It's not there.
Even in the next chapter when everybody's talking about it, I'm like, where?
Right, like what are you talking about? I
Where
don't get
was
it.
this?
I don't get it. I don't get it. So I don't know. That's all I had for chapter 7 because
Maybe we were so blind to the chemistry because we didn't like Amaris.
I don't think so. Like,
I don't think so either. And it's so sad too because like there's always those like conspiracy theorists that are out there on the web
yeah.
when it comes to like books like these, and it's Piper CJ doesn't have as big of a platform as like SJM or Rebecca Yarros. Like
Right.
these books didn't blow up as quickly as those did. I mean, they were out on the shelf. Well, I don't know about Fourth Wing, but I know like ACOTAR was out on the shelf for a few years before it got bigger. But like you could just sit there and be like, ACOTAR, Tamlin's possible mate, and like all of these conspiracy theories pop up.
Yeah.
It's like you do that for this book, nothing pops up, and you're like, ah, where?
Yeah.
But I don't
Let me
know.
tell you,
It's
these two ain't it.
I think I'm just more annoyed at the fact that like I don't see the chemistry with her and him,
I don't either.
and she's feeling guilty. Like I understand the whole polyamory, like whatever, that's fine. But with this one, I think it's just pissing me off, and I just want her to pick a side and stick to it,
I just
preferably away from Knox,
I
because
just
I
want her to
really
go
like what's his
away.
face.
Like,
All right, you you achieved your purpose. Let's go.
like, or maybe we find someone new for her. I don't know. But I don't like anyone that we currently have for her.
No.
And I don't like her for any of them. I mean, maybe I could get behind her and Yaslin. They have more chemistry. They have more chemistry than her and Gadriel do.
They do.
It's ridiculous. But she doesn't like women like that. She only likes Nox like that, which is whatever. But like, I don't like it.
It also makes me wonder if she just likes Knox because that's comfort. Like that's comfortable.
Maybe.
It, not like Stockholm syndrome, but similar.
Right. But yeah.
Like I love her because she's my
like
best friend.
Kind of vibe.
Yes, thank you. Like you both bonded over similar things during your childhood, like that. It's like what abuse.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You trauma bond with your abuser.
Yep. And that's chapter 8. And then chapter 7, I mean.
It's probably not even that deep. We just start making it that deep. Anyways.
Chapter 8, I literally only wrote one thing for the entire
I did too.
Because this chapter, Nox comes to Amaris in her dreams, even though she's supposed to be going to see Malik. And she...
Which breaks my heart for Malik.
Yeah, especially because I don't fucking like this. Like, basically, they talk.
I mean,
and they
to be fair,
like,
yeah. I mean, also to be fair with the whole Malik thing, after reading about his blow up, I feel like giving him a night to simmer off would probably be the best.
That might be good. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, they can have hate sex too, but I don't think he'd like that.
Probably not.
He's sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, I feel like he would feel bad about it later.
Yeah, like, sorry, I took my anger out on you when I shouldn't have, and Nox is like, it was a great time!
Right? Oh my gosh.
Alright, anyways.
Nox
visits Amaris in her dreams. They're all kind of talking about stuff. I like that we kind of see, yes, they made up, but I do kind of like that we're seeing a little bit more of the best friend thing.
And they're communicating.
Yes, and they've never communicated ever. Amaris was always that, like, shut-in kind of thing. Nox took the lead, was the protector. Do you have to pee?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll tell my spiel. Go pee real fast.
We're almost done. I'll be fine till the end of this episode.
Okay, just keep wiggling like that then.
Okay.
So they're becoming the best friends that like they've claimed this entire series. They've said that they've done all of these things. They've done all of this, but they never actually talked to each other. They never had this moment to talk about boys, girls, or whatever the case, like, you know, the preteen era of conversations. Right. So now the stream is kind of that for them. And I'm liking it. I'm honestly not like, I see that they made up, but I'm also kind of not seeing the romance aspect from them anymore. But
I don't want to be, but I think that it's there.
Yeah, but on the off chance that it is there, or that it's like starting anew, if you will, maybe this doesn't end in monogamy. Maybe it does end in this.
I don't think it can end in monogamy with Nox. Like, I don't think it can. I think she needs, which I know that there's the whole theory of like her having the adoration of the people and that helping.
I think that was just like a way in case like shit never, like if everybody had to leave.
Right. But still
like if somebody died or if somebody was out on war or something like that, and I think that was like kind of the whole plot behind that. I don't think they were expecting the whole Malik thing to pick back up. But also I feel like maybe they all thought that once Amaris got popped back into the picture, everything would be, you know, good, grand, and fine. But now fucking Gadriel wants to stick his dick in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's not monogamy. Maybe I don't want to call it like a sister wife. Brother, husband.
No, but like I think that they're going to continue to have, and maybe not necessarily like they're going to be like a big friend group, the inner circle, but like there are going to be different romantic entanglements within that, and then also different sexual entanglements, because I don't think there's anything romantic from Nox towards Yaslin. I do think there is from Yaslin towards Nox, but like that's still a sexual entanglement. So like I think I don't know.
They're just gonna have one big orgy, and Nox is not gonna have sex with any of the dudes, and that's it. I mean, hell, Tanith is like, "Oh yeah, you always remember your first one,
right?"
And Nox, Ash is like,
"What?
How freaky is this bitch?"
It doesn't matter. You're in love.
Does she want a threesome? I don't care, because I'll take it if she does. He's like, nah, man, I'll go to the depths of hell for her. But I don't know. So I feel like this whole conversation right here is kind of like with all of that entanglement between the guys and the girls and all, not necessarily like Ash and Tanith, but like the entanglement with Yaz or the entanglement that they had with Gadriel. And the only thing that's really stopping me from like conforming to all of this is just the relationship connection that Gadriel has with Nox. I know it's second cousins. I know it's not frowned upon in certain parts of the, you know, world. It's frowned upon where I'm from, and I think that's just still a little too close. You're not twice removed. You're only once.
But I don't think that there's even any chemistry like that between the two of them.
No, I think it's strictly like brother sister kind of thing, which is what's kind of stopping me from believing that it's not gonna be polyamorous. I think it'd be dope if it was
but like some polyamorous relationships, like these two are together and then this person is also with this person.
True.
This person is also with that person.
So
but these two people aren't together. So like it can be like that, and not
like my girlfriend's got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that girlfriend's got a boyfriend. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you're right though. You're right. Okay. I didn't think about it like that. Okay. Yeah. It's back on. Yes. So, anyways, that's really all I had about this whole chapter. So,
That's all I had too, except for that this is the end of part 1 of the book, and
Yeah.
the next episode we will be in part 2. Which I
So
already closed the book, so I don't know what that is called, but
it is called Into the Impossible.
oh,
So
because we're crossing the straits. I like
yeah.
it. All right.
So anyways,
Well,
all right. Until next time.
bye.